And we're back with Professor McStud here finding powers of polynomials. So when you find powers of polynomials, you have a to the n raised to the n power. So everything inside the parentheses is raised to the n power. You're going to do a to the m, or the n times m. So basically multiplying those two together. Now this gets really confusing because you usually have a coefficient out here in front. That exponent applies to the coefficient. So make sure that you pay close attention to that. All right, so let's look at this first example here. We have 5x to the fourth raised to the third power. So this is like 5 to the third, x to the fourth to the third. So all of that together. So we have 5 to the third, which is 125. Then we have x, and we multiply those two together, we get x to the 12th. That's simplified form of that. Again, very carefully, you need to make sure that 5 is raised to the third power. That gets really confusing. Here we have one that looks a little bit more, looks a little different. We're going to take 3a to the 6th to the 4th power, then multiply it by 7a squared. So let's make sure we pay close attention here. So we have 3a to the 6th to the 4th power, and so that's 3 to the 4th, a to the 6th times 4. Multiply those two together. Then I have all of that multiplied by 7a squared. So that's going to give me 81, a to the 24th times 7a squared. Then I multiply those two together, I get 567 a to the 26th. I added those two together because I'm multiplying. So that's it, kind of refers back to multiplying monomials. So make sure paying close attention to that. A little refresher there. Our last example here, we have x to the third, y to the fourth. All of that raised to the second power. Then we have times x, or 5xy. So I'm going to have power to the power, then multiply again, adding exponents when you multiply. So I have x to the third squared, y to the fourth squared. That means I'm going to multiply those two together. Then I multiply that by 5xy. So I have x to the 6th, y to the 8th, times 5xy. So now my coefficients, which this coefficient is really a 1, so I have like 1 times 5 multiplied together. And then I have x to the 6th times x, that's this x right here. Then I have times y to the 8th times y, this y here. Simplifying this out, we get 5x to the 7th, y to the 9th. So big thing here, remember the difference between taking a power to a power and then multiplying powers together. Remember, they have to have the same basis, so x's go together, y's go together, a's go together. Then we have powers of the power. You multiply those two. Remember that coefficient inside is still raised to that power, so don't forget about that. So powers of powers gets a little bit confusing because you're multiplying, and you can still multiply just straight across, finding products, and you add those exponents. So that's all I have for you for powers of polynomials.